I tell you, get on your wings to fly. Follow me, let me guide on side. Know your own business. Sometimes I try to find enough. But our best is yet to let you go. Never give up. Keep your hands you and I've been so long. Never give up. It's you and we're gonna make it work, 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 work. We're gonna make it work.
You found a song that just make it work.
I just recorded it. Work, 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 work. We're gonna make it work. All right, ladies. So that was our intro. Hi, everyone. Hi,
Hello.
Kass. Hi, Vladi.
Hi, Lan.
Good evening for you, Kass. And I don't know, is it good afternoon or good morning for you, Kass?
Good morning. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. So you are in Hawaii.
I am in Hawaii. I am at a beautiful place called Lahaina. And today we are moving on to the next city. And we are going to discover the national park. And the nature here is beyond words.
We're coming. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Hi, Kass. How are you?
I'm well, darling. Thank you. I'm great. Yeah.
You're back from Boston, right?
Yes, forward from Boston. Lots of awarenesses from there. And one is that it's cold in Boston, even in April, and snowing. So really happy to be in Rome, at home in Rome with the sunshine. Yeah.
And soon in Brazil.
And soon in Brazil, tomorrow.
How lucky you are, guys. All right. So thank you really for being here. I mean, with all your schedule, and I know you're on holiday, Vladi, and also you, Kass. So thanks all for being here. I'm so pleased to have you with us on this call. That is about actually your schedule to come in Europe. And that's the reason why I am really so honored to announce what we are going to do together. And before I go there, I would like to also thank all the team who's working with us for translation, for technical stuff, etc. And yeah, let's start by just maybe introducing this call by talking about the reason behind this. Kass and Vladi have a very, actually, it's coming up very shortly, a tour, a European tour with their three-body class that they're doing for the first time together. And there is another class that is really the new thing that we're going to be sharing. So, Kass and Vladi, could you please just let us know why this tour and why these classes together? We would be really very interested to know how all this was decided and what is, how did you make this decision just to do things together?
Can I start?
Please.
Okay, so we have been asked, actually, a couple of times people asked, your energy is amazing, Kass' energy is amazing, and we love you, and especially when it comes to a body class, you have to do the class with two different facilitators, and some people ask and they say, why don't you do a class together so that we can have both of you in the same class? So this was like question that came up also during the advanced body class in Paris this year, and we just said, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's create.
And it was such great news, actually.
Yes, and from the body class, then we talked about it and we looked at the energy and we asked questions, and then we said, so what else can we contribute with the knowing, with the experience, with the tools? We have been working with classes, both of us, for many years, Kass longer than myself. And what else can we contribute to the world and to bodies and to people? And this is how Just Make It Work came up.
Exactly. How did you just experience it, Kass, from your side? What was the trigger? And why Vladi? Why you together?
Yeah, I know that our facilitating together will create more for people. And that's a question, and it will create more for us. That's a question I'm always asking, what's going to create more, right? And it's so funny because Gary, Douglas, and Dane here always say, don't co-facilitate. And then they usually say it when they're co-facilitating together, right? Which, how much more does it create when they are co-facilitating, right? When they're in a class together co-facilitating. And it's not always easy, right? I remember I hosted some of the first Gary and Dane classes in Europe. And when they were facilitating together, at the beginning, Dane was completely in silence, right? Mm-hmm. And it was not very easy for him. And so little by little, however, the energy that he is always a contribution, whether he's talking or not, right? So, so I get that co-facilitating together will create more. We actually facilitated together in Canada a few years ago when Vladi got her 3-day body class facilitator's license, and everyone loved it. It was one of the only classes, I think, maybe one or two, that all women in the class, and all of them have gone on empowered and done things. And they asked us at lunch to talk about business, to talk about money. So we did a little, intro type of thing talking about business and money, and we literally had to cut it off to get, in the lunch break and get back to the class because it just kept rolling. And the one thing I would want to say about why Vladi, you said, I love her energy. She is, what I said to you when I asked you if you would host the two of us, because you and I have been working together for years quite well and successfully. And thank you for being so awesome. And, I'm sharing you with Vladi, and she is predictably unpredictable. And that's predictably unpredictable.
Totally.
And it is so, I find that explosive energy so yummy and delicious. And it's not always easy to co-facilitate with people. And we've got this thing in common about always moving forward and always going forward. And she might say, no, I don't agree with that. This is what I think, but it's not in a way to diminish you and make you smaller. It's more about just, this is the way I see it. And that is so yummy and delicious and such a contribution to people that I'm really looking forward to playing.
And we are as well. Before we move forward, I just want to say to the French people, and sorry, I'm going to say it in French because they're not yet, apparently, for some of them, on the French translation. Pour les Français, s'il vous plaît, connectez-vous, regardez dans le chat tout en haut, il y a le lien pour la traduction en français. Voilà, c'est dit. So
wait,
yeah.
1 second. I just have to say one thing to you. And Alara probably knows that we have to repost it because if they just came on, they can't see the previous chat.
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. Thank
okay.
you so much. Thank
Sorry.
you.
I'm a techie. I'm reclaiming that. Go, Elham.
Proud of you, Kass. Really proud of you. So yeah, thank you so much. And for people who are joining us, we need to say that you're going to be in Paris in May. And actually, it's the start of a tour. The next step will be Zagreb, right? And it's so great because there is a first day or a last day that is going to be this Make It Work, which is actually what we are going to be talking about at core today. And then the 3-day body class that is going to be, oh my God, so yummy. I am expecting really great things to happen there. So can you maybe let us know what people would be expecting from this Make It Work class? People know what is a 3-day body class, at least those who have had one. How about Make It Work? What are we going to make work? And is it about the usual access tools that we know? Is it about something else? Is it a practical approach? Is it a workshop? Is it a theoretical stuff? What will be the outcome? Maybe
I've got the fast answer. Yes.
Okay, bye everyone. Have a nice dinner.
No, okay. Go ahead, Vladi.
All of that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
What if we say that it will be, everything that we learn in Access is about our willingness to receive anything and everything and have no point of view about it. And we talk about the tools, but when you do that, you are having a total receiving and you are being totally vulnerable. And does it mean that vulnerability means that you are weak? No, I would say that vulnerability means that you are not trying to keep anything out and you are willing to be that power and potency of receiving everything in your life with such an intensity to it, and step into everything that you be and take the tools and create your life and move forward. And just make it work.
So
yeah.
I know we shared your stories. I know we discussed about, and that was the starting point, right? When we discussed about this, you shared so incredible stories and experiences that you went through, you Vladi and you Kass. And what I really wanted you to share with all the Zoom and the class participants was your stories, how difficult some of them were, and how you have overcome that, and what it created in your lives. So maybe you start and let us know, what is the most significant experience that you had to cope with and that you had to make work?
Kass, would you like me to talk, or are you speaking?
Well, I guess we're following the rules, right? So I guess that just in terms of what the class is about, and I just wanted to respond to that question. One of the things that we've got a lot of different things in common. And in terms of business and work, we have always been entrepreneurs, businesswomen, worked for other companies and multinationals as well. And we've had our ups and downs, and one of the things that is always true is that we're always moving forward, both of us. And we are, nothing ever completely stops us. And that is because who we are does not get compromised, even if a situation gets compromised. And that's the sort of energy that I would love, and we will impart upon people in the class, and dealing with and responding to their particular situations, giving them some information about how to do that through our stories in business, in relationship, in family, but also through their stories. Because it is a drive. What the waves may go up and down, but they continue, and that is your life. What are you choosing that is going to allow you to continue and to flourish, not just survive, but to thrive? And there's a lot of different setbacks. So Vladi, if you'd like to start with that, or I can continue with she said, what is the biggest setback?
The most significant,
yes,
the one you want to
yes,
see.
it is. I would like to add on that, as you said, Kass, about choices and how you make choices in your life. And yeah, this is what we both have in common. I totally agree with that. Our background and being that possibility for people, and contributing to them to access the energies of creation. And for me, I mean, if I look at my experience and my background, the challenge in life is always there. We will all have challenges, different type of challenges, but one of the biggest challenge in my life was actually when my son was murdered.
Oh, we don't hear you. Do you hear Vladi?
No, she did. She was saying
Okay.
one of the biggest challenges in her life was when her son
The
was.
biggest challenge in my life was actually when my son was murdered, and I'm coming out with a book about that. And because I mean, you can overcome a lot of stuff, but if something that is so close to you is I can't barely talk about it, is happening in your life, then you have to be willing that open wound to receive life and death, and not reject it. And from that, take the tools and everything that you know and everything that you learned, and know that you can actually make it, because you just have to go on, you just have to move, and that is the way of receiving. And it's always about receiving and about choices, and this is what I'm going to also to show in my upcoming book about the choices. How do you make a choice to live a life and let go of your problems and let go of your difficulties, and just step into that creative capacity where you create your life from moment to moment, and you are having ease with it, no matter what it is. And I know that this is available for all of us, and that is the art of taking the tools and applying them into real life and living and creating your life.
Wow, this is really mind-blowing. So you were already in access, right, Vladi? Because this is such a huge story. Thank you a lot for sharing it with us. It's not an easy one, and you were already in access. You used the tools of access that helped you. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I used the tools, and I also, I mean, it's not only the tools, it is also the body work, honestly.
Right. Right.
Receiving body processes, and just allowing your body to let go, just allowing your body to change, just allowing your body to receive the information that we are all connected and nothing actually ever dies. The energy is always there, so you are never losing anything in your life. And if we access this awareness about that losing doesn't exist, then you are actually having and being and receiving everything.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and also with the tools, acknowledging that we create our lives, right? We're not God. There's other people on the planet, and they are also creating their lives, and our lives intertwine, like Vladi's son, right? And recognizing that we, from choice, create our lives. People choose situations, right, that bring about different finalities. And death is really like life, like birth, right, is life-changing.
Yes.
Right, absolutely. And I remember there's a couple of them. I was just asking my husband before we got on the call, and he told me so many stories. I was like, maybe I'll let you do the call, Marco, about my life. I was like, maybe I'll put you on there. They probably like a cute Italian guy on the call. But just about how many times I have started over in my life. And there's nothing, Gary Douglas says, never give in, never give up, never quit.
Right.
And that is, like Vladi said, yes, Access for me has put words to the way I be, the way I am, who I am. I remember there was a 6-month period in my life where I lost my job. I got fired. And I know that doesn't sound huge to a lot of people, but
From a company, right? From a company.
I was not a get fired girl, so it was quite for me shocking. And it was a 6-month period, and 2 months or 3 months later, I lost my best friend, died.
Mm.
And 2 months later, my marriage ended. My first marriage ended, and all the while, I knew that the universe had my back, that somehow there was something right about this that I was not getting. And, what some of the choices I made, I could have immediately gone into another job on the at a higher level at a different company. And something in me stopped me from continuing a road with my job in New York City with my husband at the time, that was not mirroring what I knew was possible for me. I didn't have it that clearly, and now I would ask the different questions. However, a year and a half later, I moved to another country, and with lots of money in the bank, because I sued that company and got money. And my ex-husband ciphered all the money out of my account. So I found myself in a foreign country with what I thought was a lot of money, with no money, and having to start over again. And you know what? Lots of stories like that. What do you do? Teach English. Okay, that didn't go well. What do you do? Meet somebody through connections, through who I am, what I have. That doesn't go away. And I ask, what is it that you have? And we are great, me and Vladi, at pulling that out of people. What is it that you have that's great that you're not acknowledging, that will always be your starter to start again if required,
So thank you so much for sharing that, Kass, because I'm certain, many of the people who know you do not, are not aware of this part of your life. So thanks a lot for sharing it. And my question to you is the following. Are you saying that these very, between bracket, dark moments, difficult experiences, were the trigger for you to thrive in your new life, the trigger to create this new life? And if yes, what would you tell the people maybe who are watching us, who are maybe right now experiencing very hard moments, very difficult, phases in their lives? Maybe could you have this hindsight. We have, in some cases, the hindsight. How can we share that with them? You want to step in, maybe Vladica?
Ilam, as you said, they are phases in our life. It is not our life. That was so well put, and I love that. Many times, we have all situations coming up. And here is the beauty where we can use the tools by asking those questions so that we can open up an awareness of where to go, what to do, and what else is possible here to choose. And it may not come immediately that second, but I know that it will come, and it will probably, as you have heard, if you're doing Access, it will never show up the way you think it will show up. But hey, isn't that what life is all about? If everything is predictable,
what is the fun, right?
Yeah. Also, exactly. Is that living, or is that just marching slowly toward the death? Okay, these are the steps I'm taking toward death, right? If it's predictable.
Yeah.
So a little unpredictable and irrational is, yeah.
Yeah, I have experienced. So I mean, if you are out from the human reality just for a second, if you just step out or for a moment and just connect with your body and connect with the nature and connect, do you actually know how many infinite possibilities there are, and that we vibrate with the same energy as the earth, and everything is there for us, and just to make a choice to feel really bad or to say, okay, in this 10 seconds I am angry, in this 10 seconds I'm sad, in this 10 seconds I feel like I want to kill someone, but this is just 10 seconds, this is just a phase, and what can I choose different in 10 seconds, in 1 hour, or in 1 day, or in 10 days?
Yeah.
And that's so cool. You know, it's like not resisting any part of you. Right. Any part of you. You know, I mean, I've been doing communication really training all my life. But with the 7 steps to flawless communication, the first step, right, is looking for the magic that you are and identifying that. And that is really always your starting point. And that never goes away. Your experiences, recognizing them. I never knew that, you know how people say, what are your talents when you go for a job? And you say, well, I'm really good with people, right? But actually I am. That's one of the talent.
Yeah.
You know, so what are your talents that come so easily to you that you don't recognize them as talents, right? And always go back to that. I rarely say the words go back, but go back to you, because that is your starting point, right? That is your point of departure, and you can always take off from there, right? So when you're going through a fuzzy moment, right, phase, right? Okay, like Vladi says, get in touch with you, get in touch with your body, listen to your body, ask some questions, and please know that the universe has your back. It may be an embarrassing moment, it may be a pride thing. There's a lot of things that, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine today, there's a lot of things that have us take that deep breath in. But at the end of the day, you have always got you, and you have always got a point of departure that is solid, and that's you.
And that's where maybe some people, and I mean us included, maybe in some situations, didn't you experience that sometimes it's a bit difficult, maybe at the beginning when you just try to do it the first time, when you're really down and feeling very, very bad, etc. It may be difficult for people to just think about who they are and, to get centered. And sometimes that's what they need to overcome, actually. Try to find a way to get back to themselves. Do you have any clue what could help? Maybe some hint, some tip you may provide?
We get tons of tips.
Yes.
Tons of tips. And that's why we're doing this class, actually. Because, it's not even, please don't come and take notes, because we will record the class. You've just got to be there with them. And there's so many tips. There's so many different ways of approaching it, and it's the right approach for you, right? At the moment, depends on what's going on. You know, Vladi just said one, which is actually step 7 of the 7 steps, right? Connect with the earth. You know, if you have to go into nature, you know, call someone, and you'll meet some people in the class that you can call who will ask you a question. I love that about Access and the colleagues in Access. Who is the one that's going to ask me the question that's going to get me back to me?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So, Vladi, you talked about the nature, as Kass just said, and the body. So it's quite linked in final, and it's really a great mix between the body class and make it work. And how do you position the body in all this? And when do you immediately, use it when you're in such trouble or
Okay, for me personally, the body has always been an important tool or friend, call it a friend. As you all maybe know, or maybe you don't,
You're breaking up, baby.
Years ago. Yeah, I know, but
tell us again. Say it again. Say it again. I could sort of fill in maybe what you're saying, but I want to know what you say. Go ahead.
So for me, the body has been a very important tool and my best friend since even before Access. As you all know, or maybe you don't, I am a Kundalini yoga teacher. I love yoga, and I actually started maybe 25 years ago just exploring the ability and the muscles and how I can use which is after I started to study, which gave me a different insight of the body, the universal connection with the body, and what is, according to the homeopathy, nothing is actually a disease. Everything that your body is communicating to you is a symptom and a way of telling you that something is going on here. And later on, I found out even more with yoga. And this is how I found Access Consciousness, which was for me, oh, this is it. Now I know tools, I know about energies, but Access is teaching me and giving me the possibilities to include the body and communicate with the sensations of a body. So I'm really grateful to contribute to people as a body class facilitator, and thank you so much to Kass for being my co-facilitator and contributing to me to step into that potency, because that is what I call potencies. What potencies do you have actually with your body that you are not acknowledging, and how much of everything that you call a disease or problems with your body is not a problem at all, but it is a way of your body communicating with you and giving you a possibility to take the step and to choose to include the body in your creation. I hope this answers your question. Sometimes I talk just too much, but I know that this is where Kass and myself are actually being that oneness, or what can I say about it, where she is actually now filling in or expanding on what I just said.
That's really inspiring. Thanks so much. And we can tell you're really, really, really feeling it inside, perceiving it inside, right? Or living it inside. Thank you, Vladi. So great. We talked about the body. We talked about your experiences. And what I would like now to ask you, because people may have this question, is what are we going to be addressing in this class, in the Make It Work, on May 10th? Is it about body? Is it about general life? Is it about relationships? Is it about business? What type of concrete situations are we going to be discussing? And I would like us as well to, but I'm going to ask the question later. Maybe could you already maybe start elaborating on this and let us know the kind of situation that we may have to play with during this one-day class?
Right. Well, we're going to start off giving a couple of scenarios of situations. We can easily pick them from our lives. That's quite easy. Just in the beginning of what, there's sort of three areas, right? Sometimes there's something has gone wrong, and quote unquote wrong, right? A setback. Your son dies. You know, what's right about this I'm not getting, but it's pretty wrong, right? And you lose a friend, you lose a job, your animal dies, you are beaten, so how do you get back, as you were saying, to ground zero? How do you get back to a starting point from there, right? Yeah. In relationship, in intimacy, in work, in business, with your health, right? And then there's another scenario where things are going all right, It's good. Get a good job, get a relationship, get kids. But there's that, that je ne sais quoi is not there, that I don't know what. There's no sparks. Yeah, there's no sparks, right? So how do you turn normal, average, and the same as everyone else into something that speaks to you? That's what my request was, which got me inviting access into my life, and inviting a change into my life 15 years ago. Because I was like, got a great husband, great life, great friends, parties, and something else is required, right? So that's the second scenario. So how do you go from, okay, I'm fine at ground zero and I want to shoot for the stars? And sometimes the third scenario is things are going great. I'm doing well. I'm busy. I got my business. I got my life. I got my relationship. And am I preparing for and creating a future that will continually be generative? So in talking about business, relationship, money, body, health, what are some of the ways that you can do that? The body and I spoke about this, and we've had several, because our biggest problem is keeping it down to one day. This
I can tell. Maybe Vladi want to comment to that, or at least right? Yeah. Thank you. So one really key topic I wanted to us to cover today, which is quite common, right, to all these situations, and many situations, not all of them, but quite many of them, is about self-sabotage. How can we deal with that? Because that's quite often what just makes it not work, right? Self-sabotage, self-esteem that is not there. Do we have some approach to that, some tools, some tips as well? Are we going to cover that? I guess you have covered it, maybe. Experienced it in these situations that you're just sharing with us?
Well, for me personally, if I can share my own experience, it was in my beginning career of Access, what changed for me was I was actually not willing to make enemies, for example. And if you don't want to have any enemies, what you are doing is that you are cutting off your awareness about what's going on there. And when you cut off your awareness, you actually, just by cutting off the awareness, is sabotaging yourself. And one one thing also, what I changed is it was this, when you actually doubt yourself and you doubt your potency, and of course with the access tools I realized that this is just the distractor implants that are not allowing me to step into everything that I am. And yeah, there are loads of situations where you go into self-sabotage, but the tool here is actually to become aware what's the value of choosing, of making this choice, and what is it that I am actually judging here about myself that if I didn't judge myself would change the situation, and what other choice is possible here, and what other question can I ask so that I can access the awareness of changing the situation.
Mm. And you think, you believe this is something we can do all alone with ourselves, or is it something where we need some external, support, help, maybe?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do believe that we have a power and potency to change everything, but as you know, many times it is really a contribution to be empowered by someone else, or to maybe you just go to a class and you just get one tool that will change everything for you, and then you really step into that potency that you be and change that. So personally, I do empower people to take classes, to read books, to listen to podcasts, to my personal encouragement for people is just do 2 or 3 things every day that will inspire you, that will change that negative, crazy mind, and be willing to confront all your negative thoughts, because that is actually the only way of changing that situation.
Yeah.
Not refusing them, receive them. Receive them and look at them and, okay, this is not working. What tool can I use here that I've learned from Kass and Vladi, for example, or anyone else?
Yeah. And have you, you Kass or you Vladi, I guess you have many examples that you will be sharing with us about this, right? Because I believe sometimes our biggest enemy is ourselves, right? Our biggest showstopper or roadblock is within us. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
We're the only ones that can stop ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We're the only ones that can. And a lot of times there's so many tools to work with, and we've been both playing with them a lot. And it's like you get this whole huge bag of tools and when and where to apply them. Most of the time, all of that mind chatter, and I used to be the queen of mind chatter. I was so grateful for those hugely long clearing verbal processes and access, because you can't have mind chatter and memorize those and say the clearings. So it very much helped me get rid of it. But who does this belong to? Yeah. It's this mind and the perception of the energy. And me in the body classes, I work a lot with that. Recognizing the subtle shifts in energy so that when you're making progress, when you're moving forward, when it is actually changing, right? Like Vladi said, do three things a day that are inspiring for you. Awesome. Having a bag of tools that works for you, right? Mm-hmm. You can pull them out. For me, the self-sabotage is also is mainly about buying lies as if they were true, right? the using the question, so truth, is there a lie here, right? And being able to recognize that energy of the moment it sort of suspends itself, and we play with that a lot. And there's Vladi and I both opened up territories with access, and just because it's Gary always says, just because people are doing access doesn't mean they're the kind and gentlest and most caring and non-competitive people in the world, right? So we have raised a lot of feathers on people. Initially very grateful for us, for opening up the territories, and then okay, now get out the way. and so and we don't dwell on that. So one of the things for me that people will get out of this class is really that being much more interested, much more attracted to moving forward than looking back, staying back, and dwelling in, you call it self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is buying other people's poo, points of order, as real. Yeah. As real, and more real than you, more important than you, and more interesting than moving forward. And hopefully what we will accomplish in this class is getting you so much more interested and desirous of moving forward that you have no time to stop. You'll be like, oh yeah, I get that that's a point of view, and I'll be right back. I just have some things to do to create my future at the moment. But you stay there. I'll be back.
It's gonna be a Leo's or a Lion's class, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All
and
right.
the Scorpions.
As well. Yeah, that's really, really awesome. So does this mean that during the class as well, you're going to be asking the participants, for instance, to share what they maybe perceive as being what prevents them from moving forward, from creating their lives, from just building whatever they want to do? And while I'm asking you this question, I would like to start opening up for questions from the people here on the Zoom. Please write down any questions you may have for Vladi and Kass. It's starting.
I like that.
It's the energy. It's really starting. So for Classy and Bless, please write your questions if you have any that you would like us to answer. And while maybe people may be asking, so during the class, people may also share what is really, their current, problem or issue, or just they may ask for that tip that may help them overcome the phase where they are.
Of course. This is access. We always ask questions. Questions are allowed. Sometimes
answers, right? Not always.
I ask a question. No, what do you think this is? Access. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And we can, we can even play with something if people will sign up. We've got a couple of incentives for people signing up early, right?
That's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah. But also, what's sometimes very useful is sending some stuff in advance, just so we can address it without taking up the class time to go over it, to tell this story. So that might be something interesting.
Great. So we're going to be asking people to maybe just let us know what are the topics or that they would like.
It's really cool. We're doing this in Paris, and we're doing it in Zagreb. And you go where it speaks to you. You can join us online for it too. And so the situations are going to be quite different as well. So it's really exciting. And this is the Lion team. Absolutely. We can go to Siberia and do this.
And it's quite disruptive. It's 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 so sparkling, and I saw that in the energy when discussing about the content of the class.
Yeah, it's definitely an algorithmic interrupt, right? The algorithm, same old thing, stuck, not moving and not moving forward. Whoop.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you mentioned this this particular special class, special price. Sorry, Cass. Indeed, today is the deadline for the early bird prize. This class, now talking about Make It Work, it is a class that is going to be taking place on May 10th, and the price for the day is 350 euros. But for only,
Only?
make you think about it. Yeah, only 350 euros. And those who will be registering today, that was the deadline. Should we, ladies, at 2 days, would get the early bird price, which is 290 euros. Yeah, so it's up to you, ladies, to do or not. Let's give to our participants here. And there is another thing that I wanted to share, which is really great for all of you who are going to choose the 3-day body class. There is a special price of 270 euros. So that makes it even nicer price than the early birds one. Anything you want to say about this, Vladi or Cass? Everything is okay?
Yeah. Vladi, you want to say something?
No, I just want to say that I'm really, really excited for all of this. And I would like to say, because it may be that my Wi-Fi will just disappear here. I just want to say that I'm so grateful for so many of you showing up on this Zoom call. And also in the class, because you all know that it is actually your energy, your questions, your problems, your situations, and everything about you that will create the class. So Cass and myself, we have this ability we do have like a structure of a class, but we are there for you. So whatever you have, just come with it, bring it on the table, and let's change it for you. And early bird prize, yay! How does it get any better?
Yes.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
I
love that invitation, Vladi. Thanks for saying that. I mean, yeah, like what is the contribution we can be? What change and dynamicism? So much is changing. So much is growing. Is it like? And there's so many dynamic and amazing people. And I know that we will receive that. That's who'll show up. You know, anyone that shows up. Let's pull that out and get you on such a forward movement. I mean, we both travel the world, have successful business. It hasn't always been that way. And we're still looking for what else is possible, you know? Hasn't always been that way at all. And you'll read about it in upcoming books. But what can we contribute to getting you where you want to be? It's
Okay.
one day, yeah.
One day.
It's May 10th in Paris and it's May 21st in Zagreb. So come to both.
And what a day. You know the song, but I don't have it right now ready. So before we wrap up, I had one question. Can I just submit it to you, ladies?
Yeah, is there a question on the chat, or Lara would tell us if there was?
Yeah. Chat, it's from I don't know who is it, by the way. Doris. The only time you cannot just choose again is when the body chooses to die. Please make it a question. So that's the question.
Yeah. So is that, and what makes you think that's not a choice?
Yes.
Right. Are you sure that that's not a choice? There's a friend of mine. She was 95. I told you this, Ilham. I think we were together when this happened. And she was 95. And she was such a quick, fast mind, an amazing body. She lived in Milan, Italy, and had grandchildren and everything, quite lively. And she was walking, stepped out on the curb, and a truck ran her over. And I said this to, I guess I was at the not the Joy of Business, Simone's COP.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, wow, she certainly made a choice to not go through any suffering and to just end it immediately. And I remembered that. I wanted to go into the drama and trauma of, oh my God, 95, how could this possibly happen? And these tools. and they also, and when they said it, it was so light. I was like, yeah, you know, you've lived 95 years on your own. Do you really want to go into the nursing home, the thing? So sometimes people choose early, sometimes people choose late, but we do make choices. And if you chose, you could certainly be without a body. It's quite easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Choosing to be with your body, that's an interesting choice. And we definitely talk about how to be with your body in the body classes and enjoy it and begin honoring. Yeah.
And that's going to be the follow-up of that today, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, Amsterdam is calling you, ladies. Who's saying that? Krillage saying, can you come to Amsterdam one day, both? So you're invited to Amsterdam. How does it get any better than that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We've been looking at where, you know, we're going to do the project called us, right? So it's, it's this project that's called us, and we're taking, Paris has called us, Zagreb has called us, and who else would love to, you know, to host it. Come and experience it, right? Either live or online. So that way you can tell people about it or vibrate differently so that they can see it.
Exactly, exactly. So Kass and Vladi, thank you so much for being with us. It was really a great moment. Thank you so much. I know this is, in particular today, it was really the precious time you to prepare, to pack, to go to Brazil and say hi to Brazil. And you, Vladi, from Hawaii, and maybe
I'm facilitating a body class here on
Hawaii.
You
are? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Friday, but I have 3 days off, and you know, just to indulge and to connect with the energies on Hawaii are amazing.
Oh my God, I can believe
so
it.
Thank you so much once again. But please, before we end, you have a question, Ilam. Can you explain again the early bird price and
2 days body class? Yes. So participants who are going to make the body class do have a special price for the Make It Work class. They're gonna get it at 270 euros. This is a very special price for all those of you who will make the choice to make the 3-day body class. And I am almost certain there will be connection between the two classes for sure. That's what I heard in the energy, right? And those of you who are really very interested in the Make It class, Make It Work day, who already had 1, 2, 3 classes, body classes, I mean, and you may come. This is, I can tell you, it's gonna be really an incredible energy. I know that I have meeting with them guys, right? So so choose not to come, but please don't do it. You have an early bird price that is 290 euros until today officially. We may have a surprise, I don't know, of 1 or 2 additional days. We'll see with these ladies whether if they are inspired or not, right? But you're more than welcome to come to the 2 days, really. It's going to be in Paris. It's going to be in May. May is the spring. It's really great for those who are not,
I love Paris in the summer.
I love Paris in the, what? In the fall?
In the spring when it drizzles.
Springtime, exactly.
Yeah.
So Paris is really just great in the spring, and you're going to be exactly in the center of Paris. Lots of restaurants, etc. around. It's not going to be an empty area. please come. We're going to really, really have fun. And maybe some surprises are going to be coming up as well. We're, creating each and every day. Really believe it. Really believe me. Yeah, Kass, you wanted to say something?
No, just May 10th in Paris, and merci to Katayucha for the translation.
Yes.
And also we'll be doing the body class on the 11th, 12th, 13th of May. And then we're heading over to Zagreb, and we'll be doing the body class there, the 18, 19, 20, and then the 21st will be the Make It Work class. So thank you, Lana, who's translating in Hvala in Croatian. And thank you, Snezhina Ogoga, who's translating in Slovenian, and Rita, who's translating in Hungarian. We have Inga translating in Russian this evening. And yeah, what else is possible? So let's see what will happen. We've got some gorgeous people. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Alada, for being on, and Jula for getting that line together so fast.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us.
And thank you, Vladi, for making it work with the internet. You're amazing.
and it's incredible. It did work, right? So thank you so much, and thank you, Kass, really for being as well with us. So guys, press the button. Register down, right?
You've got it in the link. That's great. Your information on accessconsciousness.com. You can also find it on my website, kassthomas.com. But we'll be bugging out there, talking and playing, because Ilham's great. Yeah, thank you. Just make it work for you. Whatever you do, just make it work for you.
Yes.
Whatever you have to do. Yeah.
Yes. Netherlands as well is willing to make it work for them. So thank you so much. Of course, as usual, it's going to be closed with some music, right?
Of course. So, I was just going to say that. I was like, Ilham, it's a little silent for one of your Zooms, girl. I know you've got some music coming up.
Colors and music. And bye, everyone. Hopefully, we're going to meet you during May 10th for Make It Work, and 11, 12, and 13 for the 3-day body class. And with this, just make it work.
Bye.
Bye.